Me duele en el alma. Lo siento.
I don't think anyone, unless you're an Argentina supporter, will be more pleased than what we saw Spain lifting the World Cup, because, goodness me, that was embarrassing from the defending champions, wasn't it?
Nobody expected the night to end like this. Spain had just been crowned world champions, but instead of a celebration, the stadium was suddenly filled with tension. Within moments, emotions boiled over into a massive confrontation. TV cameras captured the first clear punch as Argentine midfielder Leandro Paredes charged toward the Spanish players and grabbed young Gavi by the throat. Players rushed in from every direction. Substitutes, coaches, and staff poured onto the field as both teams collided in the middle of the pitch. The referee struggled to regain control, while security tried to pull people apart. Nothing worked. The situation quickly spiraled into complete chaos. Free Press summed it up with two simple words: ugly scenes. Within minutes, videos of the incident were spreading across the internet. But this clash didn't appear out of nowhere. The anger had been building throughout the match. Over 90 minutes in extra time, frustration kept growing because several fouls were waved away, a red card changed the game, and one moment involving Messi sparked heavy criticism across social media. You've heard the names, but the full story behind those moments is still ahead.
Argentina were a complete and utter disgrace today, both with their performance and their antics. We expected the antics. We expected the thuggery. We expected the off-the-ball stuff. But we also expected a lot more on the ball. A lot more purpose, a lot more about their play. They were an utter shambles. They were disgusting, disgraceful. And yeah, I mean, I'm so pleased Spain won. And I could just see a scenario at the end there, but before Spain scored, that it was going to go to penalties, or they were going to get a scruffy goal, Argentina, and win this. And to put that kind of performance in a World Cup final, that negative, it was a disgusting performance.
Spain achieved what many thought was impossible. They were knocked down, fought their way back, lost their biggest star, faced relentless pressure, and still found a way to win. FIFA got the final everyone wanted, but once the match began, nobody could control how events unfolded. Before we break down the game itself, we need to return to that explosive confrontation, because that's where the story truly begins. The trophy had already been decided, but the biggest drama was only beginning. As soon as the match ended, months of frustration and rivalry spilled onto the field. Leandro Paredes, who had only been playing for a short time, suddenly became the main figure in the confrontation. Television cameras clearly showed him throwing the first punch. From there, the situation escalated fast. Paredes pushed toward the Spanish players and grabbed Gavi by the throat. Players from both teams rushed into the crowd, with pushing and shoving breaking out across the pitch. Referees, coaches, and team staff all stepped in, trying to separate everyone, but the confrontation kept growing. It was one of the most chaotic endings to a World Cup final in recent memory.
Lamine Yamal, we know we've talked about him with you all competition long. We know you think he's the best player in the world. He hasn't maybe shown that. Maybe is that fair during this World Cup, Zlatan? But 19 years of age, he's a world champion, right?
As Alexis said, he came in the tournament, he wasn't 100%. He didn't have his best tournament, and still Spain dominated every game. That says how good they are as a team, even if Yamal didn't perform. And they won the World Cup without this guy performing like he normally does.
The obvious question was simple. What pushed Argentina to this point? The answer goes back to everything that happened during the match. Starting in the 15th minute, Spain were trying to settle into their rhythm when Alexis Mac Allister flew into a late challenge on Dani Olmo. He missed the ball completely and brought Olmo down instead. Spain's bench immediately reacted, expecting the referee to reach for a card. Slavko Vincic chose not to show one. Some even questioned whether the foul itself had been handled properly. Al Jazeera reported that Spain were furious after Mac Allister escaped punishment. And it wasn't an isolated incident. The National also noted that Nicolas Tagliafico could easily have been booked for a first-half foul on Lamine Yamal. The frustration didn't stop there. Many believed Mac Allister deserved a yellow card for the challenge on Dani Olmo, but it never came. Before that, Tagliafico had also avoided a booking. Referee Slavko Vincic didn't show his first yellow card until the 40th minute. For nearly the entire first half of a World Cup final, strong tackles kept coming, yet the card stayed in his pocket. That wasn't entirely unexpected. Vincic had built a reputation as a referee who allowed the game to flow. Across his 5 matches in the tournament, he averaged only 3 yellow cards per game. Even before kickoff, betting analysts had pointed out that his style favored physical contests and was less likely to punish heavy challenges early. That approach shaped the rhythm of the final from the opening whistle. Then the match took a dramatic turn, and this time Argentina were the ones dealt a major setback. Late in the first half, Lisandro Martinez, the leader of Argentina's defense throughout the tournament, went down holding his leg. After receiving treatment, he was unable to continue and had to leave the field through injury.
So that says how good Spain is. Because when they start to play and when they start to do those passes, they take your spirit away. They take your hope away. And then I know as a player, when I used to play, if I don't touch the ball, if I have opposite opponent that always keep the ball, I get crazy, I lose patience. And you just want to run after them and you start kicking. That is what they did with every team in this tournament. And in the end, they're the best nation in the world.
That forced Argentina to play the second half without one of their most important defenders, and Spain quickly recognized the opportunity. Wave after wave of attacks followed. By the end of the match, the numbers told a striking story. Spain finished with 20 shots and an expected goals total of 1.94, while Argentina managed just 2 shots and an expected goals value of 0.2. One statistic said everything about how the game was unfolding. Argentina didn't register their first shot until the second half of extra time, yet Spain still couldn't break through. The biggest reason stood between the posts. Emiliano Dibu Martinez produced one of the greatest goalkeeping displays ever seen in a World Cup final, making an incredible 11 saves, the highest total ever recorded in a final. Time after time, he kept Spain out. He stopped Lamine Yamal's dangerous free kick, denied Nico Williams from close range, and continued making crucial saves deep into extra time. Spain even believed they had finally found the breakthrough when Nico Williams put the ball in the net. But after a VAR review, the goal was ruled out because of a foul by Mikel Merino on Nicolas Otamendi during the build-up. That decision became part of the wider conversation surrounding the match. Throughout the tournament, some fans had claimed that major decisions favored Argentina. In this final, however, VAR overturned what would have been Spain's winning goal. Spain kept attacking, Martinez kept responding, and after 90 minutes, the scoreboard still showed 0-0. Extra time brought even more drama. One player was already walking a fine line. Since the 82nd minute, Enzo Fernandez had been involved in several tense moments. After clashing with Mikel Oyarzabal inside the penalty area, arguing with the referee, and sarcastically applauding the official, he received a yellow card. Any further reckless challenge risked another booking. During extra time, as Pau Cubarsí stepped forward to challenge for the ball, Fernandez came in from behind and caught his leg, sending the young defender heavily to the ground. The balance of the final shifted in an instant. Enzo Fernandez received a second yellow card and was sent off during extra time, leaving Argentina with 10 players for one of the biggest moments of the match. As the referee made his decision, players from both teams surrounded him, and the tension on the field immediately increased. During the commotion, Spain's Marc Cucurella briefly raised his hand in front of his mouth while speaking with Lionel Messi. That small gesture quickly drew attention because FIFA had introduced a rule for the tournament allowing disciplinary action in certain situations where a player deliberately covered their mouth during a heated exchange to prevent their words from being read. The interpretation of the rule depended on the specific circumstances. Messi noticed the moment and immediately pointed it out to the referee, gesturing for the officials to take a closer look. After reviewing the situation, the referee decided that the incident did not meet the standard for further punishment, so Cucurella remained on the field. The decision sparked intense debate online. Some fans criticized Messi for drawing the referee's attention to the incident, with comments such as, "It's really sad to see Messi doing this," while another wrote, "Play football, Messi," instead of trying to referee. Throughout the tournament, there had been constant discussion about officiating decisions involving Argentina. In the final, this appeal did not change the referee's decision. With Argentina reduced to 10 players, Spain continued to press, sensing that the breakthrough could finally be within reach. Everything changed almost immediately after extra time resumed. Just 39 seconds into the second half, Nico Williams controlled the ball and moved the attack forward. Ferran Torres found space inside the penalty area and struck the ball with all the power he could generate. This time, even Emiliano Dibu Martinez had no answer. After making 11 remarkable saves, the goalkeeper was finally beaten. Spain led 1-0. Torres later described the moment by saying, "Honestly, I didn't think much about it. I saw the ball coming to me, and I hit it with the strength of the whole Spanish people behind me." A short time later, Torres thought he had scored again to make it 2-0, but VAR ruled the goal out for a very narrow offside decision. It was the second Spanish goal disallowed that night, yet by then, the outcome was slipping away from a 10-man Argentina. Spain had done what many believed could not be done. They broke through one of the best goalkeeping performances ever seen in a World Cup final, handled relentless pressure, and lifted the trophy for the first time in 16 years. Moments after the final whistle, though, the celebrations gave way to chaos. Leandro Paredes became involved in the confrontation that erupted between the teams and players. Substitutes and staff rushed onto the pitch as tempers boiled over. In one part of the stadium, Spain celebrated an extraordinary achievement. European champions were now world champions, extending their unbeaten run to 38 matches while conceding just one goal throughout the tournament. In another corner stood Lionel Messi, facing a very different ending to the night. As the celebrations unfolded around him, Lionel Messi remained seated on the grass, quietly taking in the moment. During the trophy ceremony, cameras captured him in tears. Standing among the officials presenting the trophy was FIFA President Gianni Infantino, a reminder of how much attention this final had attracted from around the world. Looking at the bigger picture, the tournament had all the ingredients for a historic ending. It was promoted as Messi's final World Cup journey, featured a record-setting competition hosted in the United States, drew global headlines, included high-profile figures such as Donald Trump in attendance, and delivered massive television audiences. FIFA got the worldwide spotlight it hoped for, with millions watching the final unfold. What happened on the field, however, followed its own path. The match ended with a heated confrontation between the players, several controversial refereeing decisions, a red card for Argentina in extra time, and a failed appeal during a tense exchange that became a major talking point online. Spain overcame relentless pressure, found the decisive goal, and completed a remarkable run to the title despite seeing 2 goals ruled out by VAR. It's also important to look at the officiating from both sides. Referee Slavko Vincic faced criticism for allowing physical challenges to continue before showing cards, but that approach affected both teams. Mac Allister and Tagliafico avoided early bookings, yet Spain's players were also allowed to play physically under the same standard. In the end, it was Argentina that finished the match with 10 players after Enzo Fernandez was sent off. Those moments continue to fuel debate over whether the referee's approach was simply consistent or should have been stricter from the beginning. One thing is difficult to argue with. Spain controlled this final from start to finish. They finished with 20 shots compared to Argentina's 2, and Argentina didn't record a shot until the second half of extra time. Those numbers tell their own story. Whatever anyone thinks about the refereeing decisions, Spain created far more chances. Without Emiliano Dibu Martinez producing one of the greatest goalkeeping performances ever seen in a World Cup final, the scoreline could have looked very different. Maybe that's the real takeaway. This wasn't simply a story about controversial calls or claims of favoritism. It was a fierce final between 2 proud football nations that battled for every ball, every tackle, and every opportunity. The challenges were tough, emotions ran high, and when everything was over, Spain found the moment that mattered most and earned the victory. The images from the final whistle, though, will stay with fans for a long time. A heated confrontation replaced what should have been a celebration. On one side, Spain completed a remarkable journey. 16 years after their last World Cup triumph, they lifted the trophy once again. Ferran Torres scored the goal that ended the wait, while Lamine Yamal became a world champion at just 19 years old after fighting through injury during the tournament. On the other side, Lionel Messi and Argentina came within one match of defending their title, but fell at the final hurdle. Now it's your turn. Who do you think was in the right after the final whistle? Did Argentina's reaction come from the emotion of losing and frustration over decisions during the match, or do you see the situation differently? And what about the refereeing debate that followed this tournament? Do you believe there was favoritism at any stage? Or did the final show that those claims don't hold up? Share your opinion in the comments because I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more football stories, deep dives, and match analysis, make sure to support the channel by leaving a like, subscribing to Matchio, and turning on notifications so you never miss the next upload. Every like, every comment, and every subscription helps the channel grow and lets me keep bringing you more of the biggest stories in football. Thanks for watching, take care, and peace.